It's the Blacktop.
I am Mike J. This is going to be another great edition of One-on-One with your kinfolk, Mike J. right here on the Blacktop. I titled it just right. A legendary conversation, okay? This brother that's going to join me in just a few, man, legendary. We're gonna explain why, okay? All right, if you're new to him, you know what I'm saying? If you've never heard of this guy, which I'm pretty sure you have, all right, we're gonna touch all into that with consent. But anyways, man, appreciate you for tuning in. If this is your first time, please like the page. Please follow us, the Blacktop. Follow us on Instagram, DABLACKTOP. Subscribe to us on YouTube, the Blacktop TV. That's DABLACKTOP TV. And yeah, this is pretty much a series that I love to do. In case you didn't know, your boy's heading to the Laugh Factory. So, I like to highlight people who I believe in, people who I support, people who I really respect around here, where I'm at in Richmond, Virginia. And then, you know, those who I've encountered, they may live in other places, man. So, you know, I felt like, shucks, with the beautiful advances in technology, I felt like, shucks, you know, this would be a good deal to do one-on-one interviews here on the Blacktop. So, I believe my guest has just made it in here for the very first time, but hopefully not the last time, okay, here at the Blacktop, man. This brother right here, legendary. I say again, legendary. I say again, legendary, okay? And a lot of people like to throw that word around, but this brother lives up to it in all caps, okay? Hip-hop, extraordinaire, lyricist, rapper, man, you name it, he does it, man. Not to mention he does his own laundry. Ladies and gentlemen, my dog. The one and only Big Sty is on the Blacktop. What's up, big dog?
Man, my pleasure, man. Thank you for having me, dog.
Oh, man. I appreciate you for taking time out your night to come to holler at me, man. First off, how's your week going? Everything good?
Oh, man, it's blessed, bro. I can't complain. You know, another day, another dollar, man. We still moving. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Amen.
Up.
I'm trying to get as many dollars as I can possibly can, man.
Tell me about it.
Shucks, man.
Tell me about it.
I be looking at the McDonald's menu. Every item past number 6, I'll be like, yeah, I ain't got
it. Yo, man, you stupid. One day. Keep hope alive, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, your parents used to say, man, you work hard enough, you can get to this point too. Maybe one day you'll get to that, you know, number 6.
Come on now.
Keep working. I'm
trying to put some cheese on it, brother.
Hey, man, tell me about it. A little extra tartar sauce or something. Yeah.
Cut him a check, McDonald's. Cut him a check.
Right.
So let's get started, man. You know, with the very basics, man. You know, shout out to everybody who's tuning in again. If you're tuning in for the very first time, man, please share this video. Tell your friends, it's gonna be great. Growing up in Richmond, man, born and raised here.
Yes.
Word.
Yes.
So
outside. I was born in Blackwell, 16th Street. In the mid 70s, we moved to Terminal Avenue, Cherry Gardens, and that's where, you know, my childhood to adulthood, you know, went on through.
Word.
Bulldog all day, you know, man. South Side.
Word. How big is your family, dog? Growing up.
My immediate family. I got 2 twin brothers.
Okay.
Mother and father. I'm the youngest. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't that big. It's big enough.
So with you being the youngest, did you get the spoiled treatment?
No. Now, see, if you talk to my brothers, they would probably say yes. Because only this is what happens. When you're the youngest, you learn what not to do by watching your older siblings. Because they, you know, they're the ones out here getting the ass whippings and the switches put on them. And so when they would do stuff, I'd be like, oh, I know not to do that. Oh, I know not. And because you aren't getting as many butt whippings, they attribute that. Oh, do the math. I didn't do what you did. You know what I mean? And that's yeah. But if you ask them, they'll say, "Yeah, I was spoiled, but nah, I got
Word.
my yeah." I got my.
So like, did was the household strict for y'all? Did your parents give you kind of like freedom? Like how was it?
Um, it was balanced. It was they were strict. I mean, they had rules and
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, just like any good parent should. You know what I mean? And everything, all the rules and the boundaries were for your own best interest. So it wasn't strict to the point where it could have been. I mean, for some people it could have been stricter, but no, it was good. It was balanced.
Word.
I don't think it was that hard. No. Mm-mm.
Word. So how big was music in the household?
Music is very big.
Mm.
From day one, my pops was heavy into Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Temptations,
Ooh.
Motown, all that.
Mm.
So I grew up listening to all that type of sultry music. And my mother was heavy into Shirley Caesar, gospel keynotes. And I don't even think my mother didn't really listen to a lot of R&B. She only listened to mostly, gospel. That Saturday morning cleanup.
Yeah.
Now all you hearing is Shirley Caesar, and I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
up on the rough side of the
Mm-hmm.
mountain. You know what I mean? And you got to clean up your room. So yeah, I used to wonder. I used to be like, yo, the mama listen to anything other than gospel? Because it seemed like anytime she turned on music, it was gospel.
Yeah.
But my pops, yeah, very heavy. He was very into music. My pops, he was a songwriter and he wrote poetry and all that stuff back in the day as well. Before I came along, before he had kids and stuff. Yeah.
Word. So he seems like the type to be very supportive of
Oh
what you.
man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I remember I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I just started rapping. This is 1985. I'm telling you my age right now. So I'm 15 years old, right?
Uh-huh.
My parents picked me up from school, and this is around the time when you start asking your children what they want to be in life. A couple years you're gonna be graduating. What do you want to do? And they'd ask me what I wanted to be, and without hesitation, this is the type of relationship that I had with them. I said I want to be a rapper, and, and without hesitation, both of them just turned around and said, "Well, what do you need to do that?" They didn't say, "Boy, you got to get your head out of them pipe dreams and
Yeah.
think of a college career or find a trade." No, it's like, "Well, what do you need to do that?"
Mm.
And that's always been the type of encouragement that they had from me. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Um, and that even I've always been heavy on believing in myself and what I'm capable of. But when you have people in your corner that encourage that as well,
Mm-hmm.
because my parents, my mother especially to this day doesn't understand rap music. You know what I mean?
Mm.
She never really, it just sounded like a bunch of words. You know what I mean? But she believed in me. You know what I mean? And that's the key. You know what I mean? So yeah, they've always been very supportive, man. I mean, from day one.
That's
You know,
that's super dope because you don't really hear too
you
much
don't,
of that,
don't,
right?
you don't.
Normally it'd be like, "Oh, you a man? Go get you a real job with some benefits." And
Yeah, exactly. But when I was 10, my pops, and I'm gonna take you back to, like I said, he used to write songs and poetry and all that back when he was young. And he always told me, I remember I was 10 years old, and he would always have these father-son conversations. And he was like, listen, no matter what you do, don't ever stop chasing your dreams in life. He was like, because again, I was born in 1970. My parents, my generation is the first generation born out of segregation.
yeah,
So all their hopes and dreams of what that the next level of freedom for black people were in us. So he was like, listen, you and your brothers are in a position to have more opportunities than I had as a child.
mm,
So I want you to take full advantage of that. You have an opportunity to really live your dreams.
yeah,
We didn't have those opportunities. He was like, so whatever you do, don't ever stop chasing your dreams, because you don't want to be an 80-year-old dude laying on your deathbed talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
And that's why, and that is the same. I continue that same process
Mm-hmm.
in life. You see, I don't. Age isn't a factor to me. I keep doing what I want to
That's
do. Can't nobody
true.
live my life for me. You know what I mean? So, and I encourage every artist to live like that. You know, not every artist, but every person, man. You know, we get to a point at some point in life where we stop believing that other things are possible, and we start looking for security. And I understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
you kill your dreams, you kill those other things that you had maybe back when you were a child, and they suffer and die. You know what I'm saying? And some of those dreams God only meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they got to die with
That's real.
you. You know what I'm saying?
So when you got started with rapping and getting into the music, like how did that start off for you? Did you go to open mics? Did you just kind of
Oh, yeah.
like stay in the studio? How did that start for you?
Um, when my very first time started rapping, I've been a fan of hip hop, but I wasn't rapping. I was actually a breakdancer first. I was like
Really?
100. Yeah, I was like, I remember it was high school. I was like 160 pounds, 6'1". So I was skinny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was breakdancing. And one day, two of my friends in my neighborhood, they were rappers. And we were on the bus, and they started a cipher on the bus, and everybody was just playing, making up stuff. And so the cipher was coming to me. I was like, okay, let me think of a couple of bars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what I said, but the reaction I got is the same reaction I chase now, because people like, oh, that was
Yeah.
dope. So that night I went home and wrote my first rhyme, came back to school, and at lunchtime I spit it, and everybody went crazy, and I was like, okay. And I just caught the bug from that. So, at that point I started, in high school, and battle rap was heavy then. I mean, it's not what it is now,
Right.
but we used to battle each other, all the time in school. You know, I went to school, started in Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. Went to school with Danger Mouth, and we used cipher in school all the time. And then I got shipped to George West, and we were battling the halls and had ciphers. And then when I graduated, was old enough to get in the clubs, or not even old enough, but sneaking in the clubs to do open mics. We would do that, and we started to get a little buzz, and some radio play with Lorenzo Ice T. Thomas gave us a little buzz, and it's a whole lot of stories within stories I could tell you, man, and a lot of different experiences. When DOS Effects got discovered here at the Trop, I was in that same competition with them,
Word.
and kept in contact. EPMD liked what I did, and we kept in contact for a while, and it's a lot of different things, man, I've been through. Yeah.
Word. You are a true student and historian of hip hop, man.
Yeah.
And we've now reached the 50-year anniversary
Yes, sir.
of hip hop. So like what would you say is in the 50 years of hip hop, what has been the highlight for you
For
or your favorite
personally,
time?
or just hip hop, is hip hop in a whole, or me personally?
Just you personally, and we could go hip hop as a whole.
The highlight for me is having a record blow up all over the
Mm-hmm.
world with a record deal. Um, it's only five things. When I started rapping, there's only five things I wanted to achieve. Because when I started, rappers weren't billionaires or living this lavish life like they were. They were just kind of regular dudes that made a little money, but they were superstars to us because of what they said on the mic. It wasn't
Yeah.
because of how many records they sold, or how much jewelry they had. We didn't care about none of that. It was all about being dope. So for me, there's only five things I wanted to do. I wanted to get a record deal, tour the country, have a record blow up all over the world, be in magazines, and be respected by the hip hop community as an MC. So when It's a Problem took off, it allowed me to tour the country. I was in magazines. The record blew up all over the world, and I was respected. And so I've achieved everything that I wanted to achieve in my childhood in that moment. So everything else that comes now, me ghostwriting for other
Mm-hmm.
people and speaking at college courses and having them study my music,
Mm-hmm.
those are just additives to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the money was never really the factor for me, the goal, you know, the end goal for me. Like, you know, this new generation is. It's all about, hey, if you ain't making money, then you ain't winning. And it's like that ain't how we looked at it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, when that record took off, that was definitely the highlight for me. Because I mean, it really did that overnight thing. You know what I mean? And within 2 weeks, it was all over the world, literally. So
So
that was crazy.
how did you personally handle that success, that moment of success for you? Because I mean, coming from putting the grind in to sneaking in the clubs, and now people everywhere
Right.
is hearing your name. So how was it handling that pressure and that spotlight?
It was it was it was challenging because I honestly wish it was like a gradual progression to blow up. Like I got the deal and I worked mixtapes and it started the buzz. They put out a single and then you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I wish it had more steps than just from 0 to 100. Because
Mm.
yeah, you putting in all this grind for all this time, but then you have something just out of the blue, just really just take off that fast. You know, there's no way to prepare for that. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish it was a gradual progression. I could have, you know, took my time and really analyze and put, but it just took off overnight. And before you know it, Jay Prince calling, Suge Knight calling, yo, you got a show in Texas, you got a show in Atlanta, you know what I mean? You got to do Sway in the morning. And it's like, yo, and you don't have, again, we're independent. All this is on independent.
Yeah.
We're not signed. So you don't have any record executives or A&Rs to help you understand and navigate through all this. So you trying to piece it all together, you know, and stitch it together while you're going through it. Yeah, it was, and on top of that, the record is very controversial, which is creating backlash and
Yeah.
all that. So it was a lot, man. It was a lot to process. You know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
did the best we could. You know what I mean? Processing it, but I'm proud of that record for because of how it
Yeah.
blew up out any machine behind it, any money behind it, because it just showed that the culture actually wanted this record to work. You know, the
Yeah.
people wanted this record to blow. You know, because you know when I was in Universal Records, you know, and they were trying to sign me, you know, they was like, "Yo, your records get more spins than records that we are pushing from our label and paying radio to play." You
Whew.
know what I'm saying? And so that was, you know what I mean? So I'm always forever proud of that, you know, because it's very few artists that can say that.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I put out a record and it blew up all over the world and I didn't put no money into it, you
Yeah.
know. No videos, no nothing, you know. So I'm always forever that.
What kept you from signing to certain like labels? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like what? Because I mean, I've heard stories, so I can
I'm
understand.
about
I
to
can get
tell
it.
you, very one simple word. I was blackballed.
Mm,
Blackballed. Um, this is what happens. The record blows up, gets you the attention. So now all the major record labels are calling. But in that process, the artists that I'm talking about are doing their homework. Well, who is this dude with? Is he connected with somebody that we know, or who is he with in the industry? And then they find out, oh, he's not signed or connected or associated with or under nobody's wing. Well, yo, we got to stop this because now do the math. 2003, 50 Cent comes out. Get
right.
Rich or Die Trying.
Right.
His wave shuts the whole game down for that whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the same energy. It's a problem. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's going at a few people, this, that, and the third. Now here comes this guy from Virginia, not connected to no, but 50's connected.
Yeah.
Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, Eminem. So he's able to bypass any obstacles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here comes this dude from Virginia with this type of energy, and he ain't got no money behind him. He ain't got no major artist co-signing him, and he's blowing up on this level by himself with nothing. Imagine what's going to happen once one of these labels sign him and plug him into the machine and put money behind him. Everybody would have had to sit back down again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, we can't have this. We can't have this going on again. So everybody started calling these labels that were trying to sign me. It's like, look, if you sign them, I ain't gonna let my artists work with you. You know, we ain't gonna this, that, and the third. And so a lot of all the labels started pulling their deals. Like, yeah, it's a little too dangerous for us at this moment to work this, that, and the third. Only two people that were still standing and wanted to work with me were Suge Knight and Jay Prince. And Suge was still in jail.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you know, dealing with Suge was like,
Woo.
do I want to walk that tightrope? You know. Because I remember I was in Texas. We were doing a show in Texas, and my wife called me, and she was like, "Hey, Suge Knight just called here." Now, if you remember the record, I did Suge on the record too. So when she said, "Yo, Suge," I was like, "What?" I was like, "Hold on, you might want to go to my mama house till I get."
He might be here. Yeah.
He got the number. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was like, "Yo, yeah." So, but when I got here, I called, you know, on the three-way with his people while he was locked up, and you know, he was like, "What's up, Styles?" I was like, "I don't know. You tell me." I said, "You know, I know I said some stuff." You know, he was like, "Look, I love the record. I want to sign you in this." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, he sent paperwork for us to go visit him in prison and negotiate the deal and all that. But at the same time, we was already negotiating with Jay Prince, and it just, you know, doing the math, how much can he really do? He's still locked up.
Yeah.
How can he, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and then once he found out I was talking to Jay, this is what's crazy, man. Listen, people got to put respect on Jay Prince's name. You know, Jay, you know, and I don't know him that well, but apparently he ain't the dude to mess with.
No.
Because once Suge found out I was working with Jay, you working with Jay, hey, man, I don't want no problems. Let me, you know. It's like, I'm a bag out, I don't want no problems. I was like, oh, like, oh, what would be the problem? It's business, you know. It's all about whoever got the better deal. But, you know, he's just like, yeah, I don't want no problems with little Jay. Hey, but nah, Jay Prince, rap a lot, great people, man. We just couldn't. We were there for a while, but we just couldn't get right on certain terms. You know what I mean, in the contract. So we end up leaving, but we left on great terms. You know what I'm saying? And Jay was 100. He just wanted me. He wanted me to stick around and do some ghost writing for Bushwick on the last Ghetto Boy record. I did that. You know, but always been loving. He hit me up like what was it, 2018? Yeah, he called in. We chopped it up about some other stuff, but yeah, no, Jay, and shout out to Jay Prince, rap a lot, man.
Yeah.
Good people, man. Number love, number love.
Absolutely. You know, I came up on Texas music, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
like, you know, just the impact that he has in Houston is
yeah.
just it's
Oh,
it's still to this day, like it's him and then it's Pimp. You know what I'm saying? But like
yeah,
him is like he's the god of Houston,
yeah.
and he's the god of H.
Yo, man, like I said, great dude. We hung out a little bit. Like I said, I'm never gonna sit up here and pretend like me and him is tight.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I call him anything. But you know, the time we spent, you know, he had a lot of game to give. Very very cool dude, very respectable dude. You know what I mean? You know, everything. I don't know. Everybody's relationships is different, but like I tell people, every time we dealt with them, it was always 100 above board, and you know, and straight facts, man. No problem.
So I mean, just based off of that, as we look at guys today like Chance the Rapper and L.A. Russell, who are out here doing it on their own, you pretty much set that tone and blazed that trail for artists not to feel like I have to have a label in order for the world to hear me.
And I'm a very big advocate of that, you know, and I tell people because we did it to our on our level, man. It's, you know, you have to get out of your comfort. First of all, you got to move
Yep.
around. You know, there's a lot of people that want to sit in, you know, Richmond and or wherever they from and expect to blow up where they are. Every city doesn't have that infrastructure to do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, certain cities are just what they are, man. They don't have the infrastructure where you can just move your record in that city or state and blow up in that state.
Mm-hmm.
Some cities have to leave. You know what I mean? And Richmond is one of those cities. You have to get out.
Yeah.
Virginia is one of those states.
Yeah.
You know, people see all the major artists that we have, but if you count every major artist that's from here, every one of them had to leave. None of them blew up here. You know, like T.I. can blow up in Atlanta. Gucci can blow up in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Jeezy can blow up in
Right.
Atlanta. The Dipset can blow up in New York, and all that, and vice versa. We can't blow up here. We can
Yeah.
get our buzz, but it's not gonna reach that major level, man. And you have to get out. You got to move around, and connect in different places, and you know, and build relationships with people within the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, expand yourself, man. And but it can be done, and it's even more prevalent now. Like what I did, we didn't even have social media. We didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was all word of mouth, and DJs were literally emailing it to each other, and just it just became like a chain letter on it, on you know, through email, and just playing it strictly off of that. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it's kind of similar in comedy too. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Mm.
I spent so much time myself trying to get Richmond to gravitate. Come on, I need Richmond, this, that, and the third. And then the moment that I went out and ventured out and started doing carnival cruise ships and comedy festivals and coming back and people were seeing this online, they're like, oh, we gotta get behind them. And it was like, oh, so that was the cheat code the whole time.
It is.
And it's like certain people now that have so much talent, but they're stuck here trying so hard
Right.
to make Richmond like them.
And it's hard, and it, you know, it's not always feasible for everybody because it
Right.
costs. You know, traveling and moving around, yeah, it costs, man. I get it, but it's just unfortunate with what it is, you know,
Yeah.
like I always tell people, it's like this. If you want to be an actor, do you go to Wyoming to get your acting career popping?
Hmm.
Where do you go?
Go to Hollywood.
Go to Hollywood or now Atlanta.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But you go where that industry is thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So being a rapper, why would you stay here and expect it? I mean, everybody's level is different. Some, if
Yeah.
you want to be independent or you want to be signed, but either way, to plug into the game, you got to be where the game is
Yeah.
at. It's either Atlanta, New York, LA, one of those cities.
Yeah.
That's where the game is actually living, where you got A&Rs, executives, managers, all these different people working and living and making money in that particular
Yeah.
career. You know? And you got to go to those places and plug in and find what works for you and connect with people that work with you. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
build that. You know, no different like you were saying the comedy circuit. You got to move around and connect and plug in, and one connect leads to another, and one door opens, and there's another door, and here you
Yeah.
go. You know, you got to get out your comfort zone. With any way to be successful in anything, you got to get out your comfort zone.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you stay in your comfort zone, you're gonna stay where you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I get it. It's a lot of artists is starting out or just coming up. They got family here that come
Yeah.
to support them. They got friends that's going be there, this, that, and the third. So when you go to I don't know, if you're a rapper and you go somewhere and perform, I don't know, Atlanta or Charlotte or wherever, and you don't know
Fear,
nobody.
man. Yeah, you out your comfort. Listen, man, I left before It's a Problem blew up. I moved to New York in
Hmm.
1998 because I did everything I could do
Right.
here. I've been on the radio. I did all the open mics. I reached every level, the highest levels of whatever you can do in Virginia, in Richmond at that
Hmm.
time with music. I'd done it. You know what I mean? So it was like to get to that next level, to get signed, what I was trying to do at that time. Look, I got to go. And
Yeah.
so, and I didn't want to leave. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
didn't want to, because again, it's the comfort zone. But I know at the end of the day, if this is what I want to do, I got to take this risk. I got to take this risk, and I can't allow. You got to live fearless, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around living in fear because you'll never get to where you're trying to go doing that.
Right.
You know, fear will stop every move you're trying to make. You got to live. You got to move past that and beyond that. So, yeah, I didn't want to go. Man, I remember the night before, I'm in my mama's house and I'm saying, tell her goodbye and everything. I'm crying like that. Oh, man, I got to leave home. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? Yeah, but went on, did my thing, and made a lot of dope connects and did everything I needed to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, you got to step out on faith, man. You got to, man. You know?
So being in the in the rap hustle, man, and the hip hop hustle, and pushing your music, um, talk about black love, right? Because I'm such a fan of it. You know what I'm saying, man? You got a real one in your corner from what I've seen on the posts
Oh,
on the Instagram,
absolutely.
social media. So talk about that and how big of a role and how great of a role she's played into helping you or being there for you as you continue on with hip hop music.
She is my biggest supporter, my number one fan. Um, she encourages me in everything. She stands by me in everything. She believes in what I do. What's funny though, how we met, because we met in New York.
Uh,
Now she's a Texas girl. She's from Killeen, Texas.
okay,
But
we in
we
the
met,
building.
right? Yeah, yeah. But we met in New York, right?
Uh-huh.
Her family had moved up there, and we met there. It was just wow. And she's not a New Yorker like that. I'm not a New Yorker like that. We both miss in the South, and we just connected on that. And when I told her, yeah, I moved up here to try to get my deal and I rap and this, that, and the third, she was actually scared to listen to my music because we had gotten to be cool, and she was worried that, wow, what if he whack? You know? So, yo, she tell me this afterwards. I was like, yo, she was actually scared. She's like, yo, I wouldn't want to have to lie to you, and I had to tell you, yo, that it's not it. You know what I'm saying? But of course, that wasn't the case. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But nah, yo, man, she is everything, man. She's everything, man. She gives me the encouragement, man, to keep pursuing
Yeah.
this and keep, you know, um, she just everything, man. She holds me down, brother, in every way, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so happy she didn't hit you with you and your little music. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Women
yo,
will love you to death, boy.
no, she never did that. No, she never did that. She
That's
was
dope.
just scared. She's like, yo, I was scared to listen to your stuff because if it would have been whack, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you think I'm gonna move all the way from Virginia to New York if I don't know myself? If I can't be honest with myself and how my music sounds,
That's
like, come on, I ain't taking that risk. I could have stayed at home. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Yeah,
that's a fact. And even just so we had a live event together. I think I was DJing
yeah,
and I
yeah,
and I saw
yeah.
this just the way that even now, like the way it's just she lights up when she sees you rap. Like
Right. Yeah.
that's dope. That's motivating, bro.
Yeah, man. It is, man. It is, man. You gotta love that, man. When you got somebody who believes in you, who loves what you do and stands behind you in everything you do, yo, man, that's that's the biggest blessing you can ask for.
Yeah.
You know, have a partner who is always there and got your back. You know what I mean? And willing to follow your lead even when you don't even I don't know where this is gonna go, but hey, let's give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, hey, I got you. Go. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful, man. You gotta love that.
So how much of that love influence your music and creating songs and creating tracks, man? Like, because I'm sure every artist goes through growth. You know what I'm saying? You look at any artist, every artist, of course, you young, wild, and free, and now
Yeah,
you've kind of went through life
yeah.
experiences. So yeah, how did that impact your songwriting?
Yo, greatly. Especially now, because you can listen to what I was back then, where it's a problem, and listen to my Motivation Mondays and all that stuff. Now it's totally different. You know what I mean? I don't curse in my records no more. I don't use derogatory terms anymore. I don't use the N word. Everything I'm doing is trying to motivate people in more of a positive way. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and me and my wife, we had our struggles too.
Yeah.
And we came out better for each other. You know what I mean? And we both grew, and all of that transcends into the music. Because my life is like a documentation of. I mean, my music is a documentation of my life, my emotions, my feelings, and the things that I'm going through at that point in life. So you can see and feel the energy is more positive. Is you feel the love in my music a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't hear me dissing rappers no more. You know what I'm saying? It's all crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, hey man, times may be rough, but it can get better. But don't always focus on the negative. Let's try to get positive. I'm on some other stuff now. But I still battle cats and make them remember who I was.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then you gotta remind them. I ain't the one to test. Don't let the gray hairs fool you, homie.
But see, I love that because you look at even guys now like Killer Mike and
Yeah,
Kendrick and things like you're
man.
seeing that progressive type of music be so successful now. So it's like for what you're
Because
providing,
you know
it
what,
works.
man? When people are fed, it's like music is nothing but food for the soul.
Yeah.
And when you no different from regular food, you done ate Chinese food for 4 5 years, you ready for something different. When you done ate fast food for 4 5 years, you want a home cooked meal.
That's a
You know what
fact.
I'm saying? And we've been being fed fast food for a long time. So then when you do see a J. Cole, a Killer Mike, or somebody like that, it's like
Mm-hmm.
refreshing. Like, man, wow. I just had to turn Fat Tommy on to Killer Mike. He hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
When we did the class at VCU,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you ain't heard Killer Mike yet? He's like, nah. I said, man, listen, do yourself a favor, go listen to it, and thank me later. He called me today at like 3 o'clock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I said,
Mm-hmm.
yes, bro. That is the album of the year. I don't care what nobody say.
Absolutely.
Album of the year, hands down. Killer killed that.
Absolutely. So it's like now you're a father, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are your kids, are they interested in getting into the hip hop scene? Are they rapping?
Nah, my youngest son, no, he's more into a tech. He's more of a tech guy, and he's
Okay.
doing other things. You know what I'm saying? My oldest son, he plays with it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's more of an outlet for him. I don't think the drive that I had for it or still have for it is not what he has for it. He does it as an outlet to, it's almost therapeutic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he feels a vibe, he'll go in the studio and call me, yo, I did a few tracks. And yo, what's crazy? I mean, it's dope. I mean, he got some joints, you know what I
Right.
mean? But he doesn't have the drive to, yeah,
Mm.
I'm still here. I'm like, listen, man, whenever you want to push this, let me know. I got you. But I have a nephew though that's heavy in it.
Okay.
Boss Man Poe,
Yeah.
my nephew Polar.
Okay.
He's very dope, very dope.
So
He's
so
mhm.
what kind of game are you dropping on him as far as just what what you've experienced, especially with you just starting out, and of course the big record that was heard. Like what kind of game are you serving up to him to make sure he does not just the same thing but does better?
Right. more than anything, what I tell all of them, man, is make sure you are grounded in who you are. Because let's say that door opens tomorrow, and like with me, and you get a bunch of record deals on the table. Be confident in who you are and know who you are, because the game, it's a lot of once you in there, once you sign that piece of paper, there's a lot of people gonna be pushing you and pulling you in a whole lot of different directions, and you can lose yourself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because then there's a lot of compromises to be made. Make sure that you are confident in who you are and what you're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of levels to go, and a lot of levels you can skip if you make certain
Yeah.
compromises. But compromises come with consequences. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things, like Scarface, when I was with Rap a lot, is one of the things he put me on. He was like, "Listen, man, just be careful of the compromises you're willing to make in this game." He's like, "Cause you know some things, all money ain't good money."
Amen.
You know what I mean? And so you gotta be careful of that. And I just, and have your business straight. Learn the business of the business. And
Word.
just have a vision for yourself, because everybody gonna try to dictate to you what you. Oh, nah, you should do this. Nah, you should. You gotta again know who you are. Nah, I don't want to do that. I
Mm.
want to do this. You know what I mean? So
Is he
yeah.
is he big into lyricism? Not like polishing up those lyrical skills. Is he big into that?
Yeah. He's street. He out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's doing deep trapping. He rap trap. He do trap rap and all that. But he's I would say, see, it's not the same type of lyricism that
I got you.
I come from,
Right.
but it is a certain form of lyricism. Yeah, I'd say that. You know what I mean? Like when you listen to a Ti, you can't say that he's not
Right.
lyrical.
Right.
It's that type of, what
Right.
I'm saying? So yeah, he along those lines. Yeah, it's lyrical, but it's real on some trap type stuff.
But as somebody who really polished those skills,
Mm.
and still to this day, seeing you at RVA Rap Elite, still so passionate about lyricism now. Does it make you feel some type of way when you hear some of this music nowadays? Be like, damn,
Nah,
like,
nah, because I realize everything ain't for me.
okay,
You
good.
know, we got to recognize there's a lot of subgenres within hip hop. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
And so at one point, yeah, I ain't front. I was like, yo, this ain't. But when I realized it's still rap out there that fits the criteria that I like.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Simba out here killing it, and Sci-Hi the Prince, and it's a lot of rappers out here that are very lyrical. And once I
Mm-hmm.
realized, hey man, all I got to do is go on Google and search, and it's a lot of dope MCs out here. And once you start searching for them, the algorithm gonna send you more of what
Yeah.
you like. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get upset about it. I just feel like everything ain't for me, and I respect cats who, successful in their own lane. Do your
Right.
thing, I ain't here to hate on nobody, man. Everybody, but it's just yeah, everything ain't for me, man. It's just when I get a lot of young cats who send me stuff that want to do stuff or want me to hear their stuff and ask my opinion, and a lot of it just ain't. I'm not listening to. I
Right.
don't listen to that type of rap, and
Right.
so I have to find a way to politely tell them without them thinking that I'm like hating on them or nothing. I'm
Right.
like, bro, I don't listen to trap or drill. So asking my opinion about a a trap record or a drill record is like asking my opinion about a country song, because I don't real talk, because I don't listen to that
Right.
to know if that's good or not. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So um, and that's the thing we got to get into, and that's why I tell a lot of cats my age, like, bro, it's dope rap out here, man. You just got to go look for it. No different from when we back in the day when we used to go to Willie's and go
Mm-hmm.
through the records and look for something dope we wanted to hear. Get on your phone and search for something, man, and you're gonna find some dope hip hop. It's just not gonna be on your radio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? and that's the problem.
Has it? Because I asked Radio B the other day about does he feel like Richmond hip hop needs a certain sound? You know, you go to Atlanta, you know what you're gonna get. You go to Texas, you know what you're gonna get. You go to West Coast, you know what you're gonna get. Have you ever
I
felt
got
like,
hold on. I gotta stop you.
Okay.
Think about this. You said Atlanta, and you know what you're gonna get. Think
Mm-hmm.
about how Atlanta hip hop started. It started with Outkast.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
now listen to it now.
Yeah.
Is it the same? Everything changes, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's sound stays the
No.
same. You know, and I think that's the beauty of Richmond. We are a melting pot of a lot of different sounds. You got everything from D'Angelo to Skills to whatever. So why would you want to? I don't believe in sounds come and go. You know what I mean? Why would you want to pigeonhole yourself into one particular sound, and then when everybody else pick up on it and that wave is run, now you stuck. You know what I mean? And people going, that sound played out. Yo, you know what I mean? You gotta evolve, man. Just like Richmond rap started. If you go back to the 90s, it was lyrical.
Yeah.
Me, Skills, Super Friends, Ilyas, Disorganized Union, everybody was spitting. That down south influence didn't kick in until the late 90s. You know what I'm saying? And now it's evolved to something else. You know what I'm saying? In Richmond. So we can't sit up here and, Richmond is whatever that individual says it is because of his experiences, his influences, and what evolved him as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people are influenced by Texas music. Some people are influenced by New York sound. Some people are influenced by West Coast sound. Whatever you feel musically and how it affects you and your life in your city and your environment, and you adapt that and make your own sound within yourself. Like Skinny Hendrix don't sound like a lot of these cats out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, let people be people. If they from Richmond and they make, is it dope? That should be the sound. Dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear, he don't sound. I hate when dudes do that, man. He don't sound Richmond enough. He don't sound. Man, come on, man. Who are you to who gave these people the power to say what Richmond's supposed to sound like? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. I don't listen to that, man. Y'all can miss me with that. And I said it. Yeah, that's it, man.
I agree though. And for this to be such a city full of art, right? We should be accepting of all art. You know what I'm saying?
Man, bro. And everybody got their own lane. You got Radio B over here. He doing the rap elites, and then you got the trappers over here doing they. I mean, everybody. It's enough room for everybody.
Absolutely.
It would be boring as hell if everybody was rapping over the same beat the same way. Oh, because it's supposed to sound. This what Richmond rap's supposed to sound. You sound stupid, dog. That sounds so stupid. Right. You have a whole city of dudes sounding the same. Who wants that? That's corny, man. Nah. Miss me with that. No.
So let's talk ghostwriting real quick, because I mean, why does ghostwriting get so much slack in hip hop? It's celebrated in R&B, but in hip hop and rap, it's like, oh, you got somebody writing for you, bro. You ain't no real rapper. Why is that?
Because R&B has always been like that. Like anybody can stand up at a talent show and sing a Luther song, right?
Absolutely.
Hip hop is always supposed to be an individual expressing, because it's supposed to be an individual expression. Mm-hmm. I'm expressing you about me. I'm telling you about myself. You know what I mean? So I think that's where, people got into, that part of it. I don't think it's that big of a thing for people now, because I think everybody pretty much know that Drake got a ghostwriter, Ben had a ghostwriter, and but back in our day, like I said, I think having a ghostwriter was more of a issue back in 80s, 90s, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because in that time, you had to be, how you gonna sit up here and talk about how real you are and then somebody else writing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a thing like, yo, yeah, it was a real thing. But now it's become more with rappers having to do so much more. You got to think about it. These cats, Jay-Z, Nas, Pac, Big, they would drop an album maybe once every 2 years, right?
Right.
And in between that time, even in the 90s, mixtapes weren't as big as they were in the late 90s, early
That's a
2000s.
fact.
So you might hear Big do one verse on one mixtape in 6 months, don't hear nothing else. You know
Yep.
what I mean? These artists now have to drop like every month.
Whew.
Something got to be hit. And when you got an artist like Drake who's touring the country, who's the number one artist in the world, he's touring the country all over, and he's on everybody's records, and he's dropping product every 6 months. How does he have time to write all that by himself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even Wayne takes breaks.
Yeah.
Wayne takes long
Long.
breaks. You
Super
know what I'm saying?
Kendrick Lamar, he
Drake
takes.
ain't had a break in what, 10 years?
Yeah.
Real shit, man.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yo, it's
Yeah.
not been, I can't think of 1 year that Drake has been out since he dropped that he hasn't dropped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when do you have time, and as a real artist, you need time to disconnect to get that creativity flowing again, because you could burn yourself out.
Yeah.
So I would never have a ghostwriter, that's for damn sure. But I understand, because I would just tell motherfuckers I ain't got it. I ain't got it today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't dropping nothing new. Y'all gonna have to wait, because I need time to, live life and let some creativity come, because I ain't got it. But I can understand why Drake would have that. Yo, man, I'm touring the country all over, and still having to do features and still having to drop records, and it's a lot of demands. I mean, yeah. So somebody come in and say, hey, man, I'll be like, yeah, that's dope. Give me that. Let me go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
So
can understand why people on a creative level may disagree. I'm a real live and let live type dude, man. What I be just because I wouldn't do it, hey man,
yeah.
the work, do your thing. I don't have no dog in that fight.
Yeah. And it's relative too, because it's such a correlation with hip hop and comedy. Because even in
Yeah,
comedy, some of the best comedians, even right now, have
that's right. Right.
Yeah. And it's like,
To me, it's about the end result is the key.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even with comedy, you can give somebody a joke, don't mean they're gonna deliver it properly.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So the same thing go with the music. Like, yo, just because somebody goes right, if he is not able to perform it with the same how it should be performed, then what difference it'll make. So even within that, there's a talent to being able to know how to perform a record,
Mm.
and make it come across. You know what I mean? To me, that would probably be the hardest thing in the world for me. Like, if somebody was to write a rap and expect me to rap it, something that somebody else wrote, that would be hard as shit for me to know how the fuck you want me, you know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to say, that would feel weird to me.
Like Style up here rapping like the Migos. You be like, hold
Yeah,
on.
like, I don't, yeah, how am I supposed to spit that with the same? Yeah, it would be weird. So it is a talent to even performing the record. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of dudes that write their own stuff that's garbage, that need ghostwriting. Like, there's a lot of top rappers out here right now that, hey, they need to pick up a phone and call me or something. Like, no, bro, listen. Yo. Yeah, that's not it. Real talk.
so that's interesting, because I know as artists, we're very sensitive about our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So have you always been so welcome to constructive criticism about your music and
Yeah,
about your artistry?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, always been, when I tell people, especially like if I'm working on a record, I tell if anybody that's in the room, be like, hey man, if you hear something, spit it out.
Yeah.
You know, if you got an idea for this, sit it out. I'm always an advocate for the, hey, let's try it, see if it work. If it don't work, we don't use it. But I'd rather try it than not try it.
Yeah.
Because it could be that one simple thing to be the difference between a hit and a miss. You
Right.
know what I mean? So yeah, I'm always open to and then you gotta understand, man, everybody ain't gonna like everything you do. You know what I mean? I don't expect I don't like everything I do. I got a hard drive that got, a few records that nobody will ever hit. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't gonna, all of them can't be winners, dog. you know, but it comes with the creative process. No different like doing comedy. You might work on a joke and think you got one, and then be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Nah, let
Yeah.
me.
That's it.
But at that time you thought, yo, let me try this one and see
Mm-hmm.
if this skit'll work. And it's the same thing with music. You in the creative process and you pushing boundaries. Yeah, you're gonna try things to see. Hey, let me stretch myself and see if this joint come off. And sometimes it don't work, man. So, but that's where you got to be honest with yourself.
Word.
People who try stuff and it'd be like, yeah, you should have probably left that out, bro. But I'm
So
always,
like,
yeah, always open.
well, that's good. And I feel like a lot of people are so willing to give constructive criticism, but very less likely to receive
See,
it. You know, you can't have
yeah,
it both ways.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You got to be able to receive it, man. And yeah. But I'm a what you call it? I'm a perfectionist, so before I even let anything out or whisper anything or preview anything, I have trouble. First of all, before I even record it, I done troubleshooted it in my head for like a month.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I recorded, I listened to it a million times, bro, before I even put it out. That's just my process because I'm listening and making sure that I'm very tedious about it. My vocal inflections and, how I say this word and I make sure I do all that, because I rehearse everything before I go in the studio. I ain't never been a dude that like to go in the studio and make up something right there. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I like to get the track, take it home, work on it, fine tune it, and then go in. And, it's almost like being an actor. When Denzel step on the scene, he not freestyling the script. You
Right.
know what I mean? He done learned it frontwards and backwards. He know how to emphasize words in certain points and you know what I mean? And certain, facial expressions, when to bring them in because he done rehearsed it. And I think that's where you get your best performances at. And I think a lot of, and back in the day, we used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody just, hey, I'm going to go in the studio and just drop something real quick. Like, yo. And it sound like you just did that. Some of
Yeah.
them sound so, I hate when I can listen to a rapper and I can tell he reading off his phone. It's like, man, dude, it should just flow. It shouldn't sound, yeah, and I was in the room writing, and I don't want to hear that like that, man. But everything
Yeah.
ain't for me, everything ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's amazing hearing this because it's such a correlation with comedy, even because we go to these open mics to practice a set, to say, all right, well, I've written this joke and I don't want to. The last thing you ever want to do is be at a paid comedy show or,
Right,
you got the opportunity to be at the Funny Bone. And you
right.
like, yeah, so I'm going to try something new. No, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Because
No, sir.
you don't even know if this even works. You don't even know how to execute it. You just wrote it and just figure you're going to write it down. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same thing, man. And you got to know, what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can probably rap over any beat, but I know certain specific types of sounds work for me better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I know I shine. I know what types of beats that I shine the best on. You know, and but you got to know just like with you. You got a certain timing and a rhythm. Comedy has a certain timing and a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what works for you. Every comedian's timing and rhythm ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just same thing with a rapper. You can't. I'm not trying to sound like this guy or that. Because it's not gonna fit me, bro. I gotta
Thanks.
work at my own pace and do it on my own speed, my own rhythm.
Word. So I got three more questions left for you. First out of the three is, are you thinking about, or would you be into artist development, maybe creating a label for yourself? Is that a possibility?
I don't know if I would. That requires a lot,
Yeah.
man. That requires a lot of attention. I'm always, and all these artists out here tell you, I'm always open to leading them wherever they need. If it's anything or any connection that I got that I feel like they might use, I'll call. Hey man, listen, call so and so, man, and I reached out, or I already reached out to so and so, man, and he waiting on you call it. I'll put people in positions like that if it's anything that I can do, but to have that as a full time, because as an artist, I understand when I give somebody that particular type of power, I'm, my expectations are going to be on a certain level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in a position to, have that type of responsibility on me that I might let somebody down, or
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to put myself in it's a full time in that type of position. But I'm always here, and all these artists tell you, man. I tell you, hey, man, if I gave you my number, I gave it to you because if you need anything, if you use it, call me. If you need any advice, if you need, any plugs, if anything that I can plug you into, give me a call, bro. Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We can't sit around and, push people off. How we gonna build? I want to see everybody win. And I've traveled all over this country, and I tell everybody, I've seen some talented people here in a lot of talented cities, but I've never seen the abundance of talent in any city I've been in like I see here. I've always said that.
Mm.
I said that from day one. We have so much talent in this city, man. It's ridiculous,
Agree.
man. On all types of levels, man. So I'm always like, yo, an advocate for Richmond, and yo, listen, y'all just keep grinding, man, and try to move around, try to get out, try to, expand yourself, and but yeah, I'm always here for everybody, man.
Word.
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
what's the one collaboration that you feel like would make your career completely complete? What's the one artist that even today you'd be like, man, if I could just get him
Oh, my
or her?
dream collab,
Yeah.
Snoop. Has always been Snoop.
Word.
Always been Snoop, and that shocks people. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Why Snoop?
Always.
What?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just always wanted. Well, I have a few. Let me not. But Snoop has always been the number one.
Okay.
But I have a few. KRS-One, I always wanted to work with. And LL Cool J.
Mm.
But
Ooh.
Snoop top. Snoop is the top.
Uh-oh.
And it's not about taking my career to the next level. These are just artists that I've
Right.
always admired and liked. And it's not just because the lyrical, or it's just because they had a certain something.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's just something about those particular artists that, always stuck with me. But yeah.
And see social media, the power of social media,
Hey,
man, is.
hey, man. Listen, man. Lady of Rage is my homegirl.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And she stay on the road with Snoop. So I'm always like, it ain't but me a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, Shawty, we gonna be out here, and and I'm gonna be like, yo, sis, go ahead, you know what I mean? Get the homie over here, let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to see that, man. And
Yeah,
Snoop's one of my favorite, top 10 all
you know,
time, bro.
I don't ever push it. But I say, listen, this is my sister. If we tight and mug, we always doing stuff together. I say, so I'm just like, it might be a matter of time. That happened.
Oh yeah.
It happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So last question is, if an artist walks up to you, or someone who wants to be an artist walks up to you and says, man, hip hop is gonna be my way out, what do you say to someone like that?
I mean, it could possibly be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but if is that what you're doing it for? Are you rapping just to make it out of your situation?
Mm.
I mean, is that what he's saying to me? Like I'm only rapping
Yeah,
to get out the hood or
I
to
need
get
to get
out.
out.
I mean,
Yeah,
that can be a driving force, but I would say, listen, you gotta love it first. You gotta love it because it's not gonna love you back more than you love it.
ooh,
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of loveless times trying to be an artist.
mm.
You know, you have to love it more than it loves you. You gotta love it. And like I told my nephew when he first started rapping, I said, you gotta love this to the point where you would do this whether or not you made a dime. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I do it.
Yeah,
I don't care if I make another penny. I live to create. You know what I mean? And your art, when you do it from the heart, it speaks to the heart, and it separates you from everybody else. You know what I mean? Because everybody's doing it for the money now. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
oh
Let's
yeah,
be real. So, and it's millions of everybody's a rapper. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. When everybody's a rapper, nobody is. You know, it's just crazy. You know? But you got to do it from the heart, man. You know, that's hey man, some people do it for that reason, and some people who did it for that reason made it. You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm not gonna say that it can't happen, but chances are it's gonna be a harder time than it's gonna be an easy one. So you gotta love what you're doing because you'll get because I'm sure you see posts from rappers. Oh, I'm thinking about quitting. No, ain't nobody supporting, and you know what I
Yep.
mean. Like I'm like, go ahead, quit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't have no sympathy. I mean, listen, man. Bro, this game is not
Yeah.
easy, and you expect to drop us. You know how many? It's a million rappers in this state right
Woo.
now, and every state around here is another million or two or three. So what's gonna separate you from the? You gonna get discouraged that quick and be like, yo, I'm quitting. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
miss you. I don't like posts, man. Those are the most irritating things in the world. Like, yo, man, I'm gonna quit. All right, okay. All right, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, quit. You should. You should quit. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't built for this. You got to be built for this, bro. Yo, man, listen, you know how many people suffered and struggled way harder, even back in the day
That's a fact.
when there were fewer rappers.
Ooh.
People were struggling trying to get Jay-Z got turned down by every record label. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be easy. You know what I mean? And I think that's another part with this younger generation. They have so many outlets to be heard that they they almost spoiled to the fact that thinking that it's supposed to just happen.
Right.
Shit, man. And bro, we only had two outlets to be heard. You had to have a record deal or you had to be on the radio.
Yeah.
Period. Won't no social media, won't none of that shit. So you had to, how else you gonna be heard? That's why listen, man. For me to do what I did and to get the love that I've gotten in this city and I've been on the radio since 1990 in Richmond. I've consistently been on the radio. I was getting played on the radio in the 90s. I get played on the radio in 2000s, 2010s, and until now. Everybody even can't say that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be appreciative and thankful for the things that you do get out this game because you ain't, what I mean? Everybody ain't gonna be Jay-Z. Everybody ain't gonna be 21 Savage. Everybody ain't gonna be the Baby. Some people are going to be Big Sty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Just like when Drake was saying that what's his name? Joe Budden was a failure.
Yeah.
Like, how is he a failure? He was signed to to Shady Aftermath with one of the top lyrical groups in the country. Yep. He got a successful podcast. Yep. Where's the fail? He done toured all over the world. He do have one hit record.
Absolutely.
A lot of y'all can't even say that.
Underrated album at that.
Exactly.
Album. Yeah.
Been on BT ciphers. He done a lot of things. Everybody ain't gonna be Drake. Everybody ain't gonna be. So those statements, man, people got to redefine success for themselves, man. People looking at success as jewelry, the cars, or I gotta have platinum plaques or award shows. That's not everybody's success. You gotta, like I said, I only wanted 5 things when I came in this game, and I done did all those. So everything now is just a plus. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm more successful, I feel, than a lot of people. You know, and in a lot of people's eyes, I ain't even successful at all. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you define it by. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to. That's why you got to know yourself, man. You know. Real talk.
That's word, man. And you know, somebody like that, man, you know, just doing it for the money, that would kind of like scare me almost, because it'd be like, wow, you're gonna subject yourself to anything at this point.
Now we getting back to what I was saying before. Like, you got to be careful what you're willing to compromise, because they're waiting. The vultures is waiting, because they know when you easy pickings, bro. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you want to be a super, because all that's paid for, man. These people make it to the top because you have other people and entities invested in them. You know what I mean? They're not just making it to the top just based off their talent. There's other things in play. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that they aren't talented, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people invested for a lot of different reasons. You know what I mean? You got certain companies like, well, I'm gonna invest in you because once you blow up, I want you to be the face of my company, or you know, the endorse. Yo, it's all different types of things. It doesn't mean it's in evil intentions, but you got to know what you're willing to compromise and what you're willing to give up, because you're gonna have to give up something. They ain't gonna just get you for free. You got to give up something. You know.
That's a fact, man. Well, man, dog, this was epic, man.
Thank you, bro. This was
my
fun,
favorite.
Bro.
My favorite interview, bro. My favorite interview.
Thank you, bro. Likewise, man. Definitely dope interview. You had some very good questions, man.
You know,
some questions I ain't
tried, man. You know,
yeah.
back in my past life, you know, I used.
Yeah. There you go, brother. I feel you, man. But listen, man. Yo, bro, I love what you've been doing. You are a true hustler, bro. Everything from comedy to DJing to podcast host, man, you stay getting it. And yo, don't stop that. Keep pursuing that joint, whatever it is, because I can tell you're doing it from a place of love. You love what you're doing. Don't let the politics and the bullshit around you take that away, because they are gonna try. You know what I mean? It's gonna be ups and downs and whatever you trying to do, but man, keep that passion you got, bro. I love that, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes,
now I gotta make it, y'all. I gotta make
Absolutely, man. That's right. Absolutely, man. I got you.
Word. Hey, what you got coming up, man? Any shows? Anything coming up?
Very good question. Well, what was it? What is it? The 29th, the Rapper League joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the season finale cipher of that with Radio B. Salute to Radio B. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably the last thing I'm gonna be doing until next year. Next year is gonna be a big rollout, because next year is the 20th anniversary of It's a Problem. So I'm gonna be doing a documentary on It's a Problem. I have another It's a Problem record coming out for the 20th anniversary. I have an album dropping, a few mixtapes. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming out next year. So it's gonna be real heavy.
Well, I'm excited for it, man. 2K24 is about to be the year's big star.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be crazy,
man.
Yeah, it's gonna be another one.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm definitely, man. Again, bro, you one of my favorite people.
Thank you.
One of my
favorite. Hey, man. Yo, I love that, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Sir.
Appreciate you.
All right, always, man. So this was an epic interview, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you know, if you know anybody who missed this, tell them to run it back. Okay, like the page.
Back, Charlie. Run it back, man. Got a lot of jewels in here, man. Giving free game today.
I'm talking Freedmans.
My dude. Yes, sir.
Yes, man. On behalf of Big Star, my name is Mike J. Always reminding you to be blessed, not stressed, or caught up in any goddamn mess, man. Right. Okay? Hey, man. We are out of this bitch. Good night.